hell are you doing here?
I'm commissioned to this flight.
Captain!
We haven't got time for this right now. Put her in the Sperry until we get up in the air.
I'm supposed to guard this.
I'll guard it for you.
Contents are confidential.
Hello.
Hi, Roseanne. How are you?
Hi, Jim. I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
I love your Christmas. It's very good.
Yeah, I was just talking about it.
That's great.
It's real. It's, my mom helped me
Oh my
actually
God.
set it up, but yeah.
I bet it smells amazing. I can smell it from here.
It does actually. I kid you not. Whenever I walk in, it's got this like fresh foresty smell to it. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. You need that festive feeling.
That's right.
In all your senses, I imagine. I'm in Auckland, New Zealand. It's the future. Yeah. But
wow. So it's early
everything's well. Everything. It's not that early. No, it's reasonable. And it's I'm a day ahead of you. So.
Oh, that's right. You're already a day before. You're almost like the eve before Christmas Eve.
No, not quite, but yes, almost. You're right. No, the eve, Christmas Eve. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, you're in the future in that case.
Yeah, everything's fine over here. Yeah, in the future.
That's great. Good to know. We're making it out there. I'm so glad you got a chance to come on and spare some time to chat with me. Really a lot to talk about the film. I enjoyed it. I remember first heard about it and kind of got a glimpse of it at the AFI Fest. So that was my first introduction to it. And now it's kind of making its release. I'm curious, you directed the film, but I was surprised to kind of find out that Max Landis co-wrote it also with you. How did you guys kind of come on board together?
We didn't actually work together. We were, I've not met him. I've not spoken to him. So what happened was that the script came across my desk from a producer and I connected with the script, but the producer, I guess, felt that Max Landis, he'd worked with Max Landis previously, and he felt that maybe it would be best if Max wasn't on this project. And so he left, and I rewrote. It wasn't a page one rewrite, but I did write substantially on this project, which is why our names are together as writers, but we didn't work together. Yeah.
Oh, that's good to clarify. That's a whole different perspective now.
And yeah, it is a different perspective, and it's really interesting because it is a feminist movie and it's got a strong female protagonist. But I think a few weeks after we wrapped, an expose came out in Daily Beast. 8 women accused Max Landis of sexual assault and rape.
So happened after, right? After you completed?
Yeah, after we'd completed shooting. Yeah.
Wow, imagine that. So, hey, you got the reins on this one then in that case, since you got to direct it too, and you got to put your kind of vision into this project in full way in that aspect. I thought it was going to be like a World War II drama, but it was so action packed, and it was an action World War II drama in that sense. It had a lot of fun elements I didn't expect coming into. I thought it was going to be like a slow film, and this one has a lot of energy to it, a lot of action, cool effects. Tell me about that. Was that something you envisioned originally coming into this project, kind of having a lot of, in a sense, energy to the story?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'm an action girl. Like, I love genre. I love trashy action, and I love really great action as well. So in a way, all those things, everything I love in a movie is in this movie, and always was. When I first read the script, I was like, this is a movie unlike any other. It's got genre, it's got different, it's a genre mash, it's a tonal tightrope, and that's what I love about it. I aspire to make movies that are completely unpredictable but are still a really good time. So that was definitely something, and I think I have so much reverence for history and World War II, but this movie is not really a historical movie. And I think people need to know that going in, is that it is a bonkers film that just happens to be set during the World War, because it says something really interesting about people during that time that is relevant to the now. But it's not a war movie. So
you just took the setting of the war and the time and place of it, basically, and wrapped it up Yeah, makes sense then.
Yeah, kind of like Indiana Jones, right? Indiana
Yeah.
Jones, The Last Crusade is set during the Nazi. Well, in fact, a lot of the movies, The Last Crusade and yeah, they're all set during the World War II period in the 1940s. But it's not really about the war, if you know what I mean.
Right. No question. Yeah, it's about the character and what's going on there, and then the secrets, all that. There's a lot to be packed in. I always wondered too. I always kind of want to know from filmmakers, in order to like when a movie has a lot of suspense and there's like an element of something being uncovered and we don't know as an audience watching it, and in this case, Chloe's character has this thing, that how do you kind of build suspense so the audience stays engaged? Because I always feel fascinated as a filmmaker. How do you bring that moment so we're all on the edge of our seats waiting for this to be unveiled and the secret to be let out? How do you kind of make it cinematic and interesting to keep us along the ride?
Yeah, I mean, right from the get-go, we set up a mystery. I think there's something going on. She's doing something, but we're not quite sure. We're just settling into our seats, hopefully in a theater. And I know, with the way the world is, most people will be watching this in their homes. But I was imagining you're sitting down with your popcorn, you're just getting comfortable into your seat, and then all this a mystery is set up before you. It's like I'm taking your hand and I'm saying, "Hey, I'm about to tell you a really cool story. It's going to get a bit wild in there, but don't worry, I gotcha." That's that kind of feeling. It's that kind of once upon a time type feeling. I like to set it up with music, with and Chloe is just so eminently watchable. Her face and her expressions are natural and enigmatic at the same time. When she finally turns to camera, when she reveals her face to us, I'm in. I'm like, I want to see what this woman does. I want to see what mission this woman is on, because I can tell something's happening. I don't exactly know what, but I'll watch her. So it's just making sure that we keep that tightrope going. Teasing all those tension elements and with sound design and performance, just so that we're kept on the hook before we drop people in it. Yeah.
You speak of Chloe. I thought she was a great casting for this project, because she's kind of teased this genre. She's done movies like Kick-Ass and stuff, but I thought this was like the most action-packed film in a sense I've ever seen her in, especially since she's coming off a lot of more like dramatic and psychological thrillers performances. I really liked her in this role, kind of completely letting loose. Was she someone, when you came onto the project initially, was she attached to it? Was this someone you had on a wish list? How did that come about that she ended up as the lead in the film?
She came in quite early. Like we had definitely thought about other, we did have a list of other actors, but she was someone that we talked to quite early in the process, and we just gelled on the themes of the movie. We gelled on the feminism, but also the strong female character, and not even the femaleness of it, just a strong, flawed superhero character. Like she's so flawed.
Right.
But that's what attracted her to us, is that she's not perfect, and yet we're still rooting for her, and she has these vast wells of strength that are unlocked by adversity. These were all things that we were really excited by together. And she was just the right choice in so many ways, because yes, since childhood she's been doing action movies, and you're right, she's been exploring other facets of her, I guess, of all her talents and all her abilities. She can do the dramatic, but she can also do the action. And what's amazing about her is that she's so technical. She is so, she's so technically she's actually a genius, in that we didn't have to give her a continuity note, because she always knew what she was doing with her hands and her head at whatever time. She had to do lots of things to keep busy, because it was just her for the first 40 minutes of the movie. She remembers all of that. She can learn action. She can learn 20 beats of action in like a few minutes flat. She can do all that stuff.
Wow.
And then she also worked out a lot for this movie, because
I was going to ask how much physical, because this movie it's a physical role for sure. How much did you guys have any boot camp or something set up, or she came prepped already, ready to go?
She made her own boot camp. She got ripped for this. She got her own thing going on. She was hanging, she was holding her weight. There's sequence in the movie where she has to hang, essentially. She could do more pull-ups than our stunt coordinator. He won't like me saying that.
Wow.
They had a competition going, and she was like, I did 15 today. How many did you do? And he was like, dang it, I can't do it.
Unreal.
Yeah, so she really she went all out. Like she did all the things. Yeah.
It makes your job easier, right? I mean, in that case.
Oh, I mean, she's the real deal. Like she when she did the research, she met with new mothers. She met with survivors of domestic abuse. She did all that. She did all the thoughtful work as well as the kick-ass work as well. So she's amazing.
Yeah, I thought that the interesting part of it, there's this feminism and there's so many real life kind of issues attached to the story. It's not just the blow ups and the action that you see, but there's really a lot of, really important things that you're trying to kind of convey in a movie. What was your kind of goal that you wanted to achieve or the audiences to kind of take away besides having that fun popcorn time, which clearly you will if you're watching this movie, but what sort of thing would you want the audience members to kind of take away watching this movie, in a sense, a message wise, or just come out thinking about?
Yeah, ideally, I want connection and I want empathy. It doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a man or a woman watching this movie. If you can understand why Maud does the thing that she does, as imperfect and crazy and bonkers as they might be, that's what I want people to walk away from the film feeling, is that we have vast, wells of strength and power and rage and courage inside of us that are tapped when adversity flies at us. And I think in this year, more than any other year, everyone has gone through some kind of trauma. Everyone has faced some kind of adversity. Everyone is fighting, and that fight is messy, and that fight is imperfect, and we sometimes get selfish, and we are unkind, and it feels like the world's against us. And just when we think it couldn't get worse, it gets worse again. All of those things are in this movie, and I think that you don't have to be a woman to understand, to really feel for her, to really empathize for her. So ideally, that's what I'm going for, is empathy and connection, because I think that's kind of what we need right now.
No question. I think that's really well said. I mean, you really encapsulated kind of everything that like you said, it's everyone's got struggles and different things. And, it's even good to have a movie to just even a movie like this to kind of clear your mind for an hour and a half, 2 hours, to get away from the daily reality in a lot of ways too. So that's another aspect of it that works in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I want it to work on lots of levels. I want to, if you just want to switch off, have a drink, be with your friends, jump up and down on the couch and have a good time, then there's that. If you want to go deeper, there are deeper elements to this, so I wanted it to have all those levels of meaning. Yeah.
Great. And then what's going to kind of ask you, what sort of movies do you like to make going forward? Is there any type of stories kind of that relate to you, that sit with you more so than anything that you want to tell, that you're drawn to, or you want to expand in different varieties, do things you've never done? What are sort of kind of stories you want to tell going forward?
I just want to be a great action director. I don't want to necessarily go into the whole thing of diversity, but when people think action directors, they don't really think of someone who looks like me or sounds like me. Do you know what I mean?
True.
And I think I can make really muscular, interesting, challenging action work. And I want to be able to climb up the mountain to be able to tell those stories. Like if I'm climbing up in the mountain, the peak. The movies that for me are the movies that I aspire to are Terminator 2, Aliens, Mad Max Fury Road, Die Hard, La Femme Nikita, Leon the Professional. These movies are the movies that I come back to every year, that I love, that have a special place in my heart, as well as Hong Kong cinema. I'm born of Hong Kong parents, and at home I was watching a lot of Jackie Chan, Golden Harvest, Bruce Lee movies. That's my cinematic DNA. These are the movies that mean a lot to me, not just on a craft level, but on an emotional and intellectual level as well. So I believe in heart and meaning, but I think they can be synergized with things like action, horror, and sci-fi. So ideally, that's where I want to live as a filmmaker.
And finally, any holiday plans for you? Anything you're doing in the next couple of days and next week to the end of the year? Anything fun out in New Zealand?
I'm gonna be eating. I think
Okay,
lots
that's
of people are going to
great.
be eating.
Yeah.
We're very lucky to be able to spend time with family, so I'll be spending time with family and you know, being nervous about this movie. God, I hope people like it, and I hope people watch it and have a good time with it. Yeah.
No question. I think that's well said. Hey, from what I've been hearing so far, it's getting a good good comments, good reviews. So I'm hoping it continues. I personally enjoyed it. So fantastic work on that, Roseanne.
Thank you so much, Jim.
You know, it's funny. I watched your movie, and now I was literally watching Die Hard, just watching before this
Yes.
interview. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
You know, the action
It is perfect.
theme continues. But thank you so much for taking your time and speaking to me. Can't wait what's next for you. I really enjoyed this, so I'm looking forward for more action-packed fun from you down the road.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thank you, Jim.
Absolutely.
Happy holidays.
And stay safe and healthy.
Yeah, thank you.
Welcome back to the party, baby.
Strap in.
Yes, ma'am.